Well, had some interesting news over the last 24 hours, especially in the NBA. A 2-year investigation led into some arrests for some big time NBA players and coaches. What were they thinking? Why did they do this? I'm gonna delve into all of that and give you my opinion of what's going on. Plus, it's Pick'em Friday, where I make my select picks for the five most, I believe, the five most intriguing matchups in college football for week 9, and all the NFL picks for this weekend in week 8. All that and maybe a little bit more coming up in the ozone. Big O with the big mouth coming at you in the Total Sports Ozone. Wow. I didn't see that coming, but I'm not surprised. As you probably all heard from yesterday, a 2-year FBI investigation into illegal gambling netted some, at this point, 34 arrests, including some NBA players and coaches. Portland Trailblazers current head coach Chauncey Billups, Miami Heat guard Terry Rozier, and former Cavaliers player and coach Damon Jones. All have been arrested as a part of a pair of wide-ranging investigations related to illegal sports betting and rigged poker games backed by the mafia. Both Billups and Rozier have been placed on leaves from their teams. And let's face it, they're in trouble. We can't mince words about that. Illegal gambling, and you're an NBA head coach, an NBA player, it's not good. It's not a good look for themselves. It's definitely not a good look for the players, the rest of the players in the NBA, and it's not good for the league. So they're in trouble. According to an article posted on ESPN, Rozier was arrested Thursday at his hotel in Orlando, Florida. It is accused of participating in an illegal sports betting scheme using insider NBA information. As part of the scheme, gamblers used non-public information to bet on at least 7 NBA games between March 2023 and March 2024, involving the Charlotte Hornets, Orlando Magic, Portland Trailblazers, Los Angeles Lakers, and Toronto Raptors, according to the indictment. In 3 of the 7 games, players intentionally removed themselves from contests to benefit the gamblers' bets. Now, Chauncey Billups is charged in a separate indictment alleging a wide-ranging scheme to rig underground poker games that were backed by mafia families. They're accused of using technology to steal millions from victims in the New York area. Wow. I don't understand it. Here's my opinion. I mean, I know everybody's heard the opinions of the reporters and the analysts and all that, the inside the NBA guys, Stephen A. Smith, everybody. But here's a fan's take. Let's face it, remember, I'm a fan. I'm not a reporter. I'm not an analyst. I'm a fan. Here's a fan's take on this entire ugly situation. What the hell were you thinking? Why would you do this? Especially Billups. Why would you get involved with the mafia? And you're an NBA head coach. You're a former NBA player. You're respected. You're a champion. You're a champion. You're a head coach. That means these players supposed to listen to you. And you do something like this? Why? Why would you put your career and your freedom on the line for a few bucks? And Damon Jones and Rozier, what? Why? I'm pretty sure the league had a nice little seminar, a little confab about the do's and don'ts off the court while you're a member of the NBA. And I'm pretty damn sure one of those don'ts was you're not supposed to bet on your sport. You're not supposed to bet for or against your team or any team in the league you're playing in. I'm pretty sure of that. Matter of fact, I heard somewhere that they have seminars in preseason, training camp about the do's and the don'ts, what you're supposed to do and what you're not supposed to do while you are representing your team and the National Basketball Association. All the leagues do that. It's been mandatory. It's been mandated. It's been mandated by the federal government that these leagues are supposed to give seminars, conversations, little confabs, at least every year about the personal conduct, about what they're allowed to do and what they're not allowed to do. And why would you do that in your league? Didn't they learn anything from, especially Rozier and Damon Jones, didn't you learn anything from Pete Rose? The Pete Rose saga? Or did you totally forget about that? The fact that while he was a manager and a player of the Cincinnati Reds, he bet on, for, or against his team. What happened to him? He was banned from baseball for life. For life. And that was back in the 80s when gambling wasn't wasn't legalized wasn't like federally, legalized and monitored like it is today. I mean, we got all kind of legalized gambling. That's why I don't understand why they would do something like this for the past 2 years. Why would they do something like this? We got legalized gambling all over the country now. I mean, they're making commercials on it. DraftKings, BetMGM, FanDuel, ESPN Bet. These are legalized gambling entities. They're legalized. They're monitored. Why would you go against the grain and jeopardize not only your career, but your freedom? For what? For a few bucks? To get some of your friends a few extra dollars? I knew that something like this was coming. I knew something like this could happen, at least, when they legalized sports gambling in the United States. Most of the states have legalized sports gambling. That's why they got those apps. I knew something like this could happen. I knew it. I certainly knew this could happen. So while I'm shocked it has happened and the players involved and some of the players involved, I'm shocked that this happened. You never thought this Chauncey Billups. I mean, he's a respected player. He's an NBA champion. Mr. Big Shot. That's what they called him. He made it all the way up to head coach of an NBA team. And you do something like this? Now, I know there's the presumption of innocence, innocent until proven guilty, but come on, man. The FBI was investigating this for 2 years. 2 years. They ain't going to just come knocking on your door just to say hi, and they ain't got no proof. Come on. 2-year investigation? Somebody told them something, or somebody's talked to the FBI, and they must have done a whole lot of deep diving into this for them to knock on your door and say, you under arrest. They ain't going to just do it just to say, just because they ain't got nothing else better to do. And I don't understand it. It is totally unacceptable to be betting on your sport. You fixing games that the regular Joes and Janes of this country bet on. On those little apps, DraftKings, FanDuel, ESPN Bet. They're putting their own money on the line to hope they get lucky and get a little bit more money betting on these games. And you fix them. You have a Rozier. I think if he is guilty of what they said he's done, you need to be treated just like Pete Rose, out of the league forever. Because you fixing games. You fixing games that got a hand in people's livelihoods, and you fixing them. That would not fly with me. That doesn't fly with me. I'm not a gambler per se. And to do stuff like that could hurt not just team, the league, but millions of other people who bet legally on these games, on the players, the five-player parlay and all that other stuff. They bet legally on this stuff. And you're going around fixing these games, fixing these teams to have players removed from the games and whatnot. You should be banned and you should be thrown in jail. If he did this, if Rozier actually committed these crimes, not only should he be barred from the league forever, he should go to jail for a while. He's messing with people's money. And one thing nobody wants to mess with is their money. Nobody. I don't care who you are. And that's exactly what Rozier and Billups and Jones have allegedly done. Messed with people's money the wrong way. I really don't understand it. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't think anybody knows what they were thinking. And I certainly hope it is not as deep as the FBI says it is. But it sounds like it is. And if it is, this is going to hurt the league a whole lot. I mean, we just started the NBA season, and this happens. Now a lot of fans are going to be turned off against the league, especially. What's really going to be hurt? Those legalized betting apps, the FanDuel, FanDuel, BetMGM, ESPN Bet, DraftKings. Because how do you know you're going to be able to trust those apps? How do you know there's somebody on the down low, on the sidelines, on the background, manipulating these bets, changing the odds and this and that, by doing some corrupt stuff like this? How do you know? So I would not be surprised if those legalized betting apps take a little hit on this. I know the league is going to take a hit on this. The league was struggling with ratings anyway. They were struggling with ratings and all that for the last couple of years. And then this happens at the start of the season. What's the league's next move moving forward? I wonder how Commissioner Adam Silver is going to deal with this. I know he's going to let the FBI continue their investigation. But what's he going to do with those players, the coaches? And how does the league get in front of this? I haven't seen anything on that yet. How does the league get in front of this so to minimize the damage? It's going to be hard to minimize it. But how do they do that? That's what I'm looking forward to hearing from the league higher ups, to see what they say. I know there's going to be all that. We're looking into the investigation and we're committed to the highest integrity and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, I know they're going to say all that. But what are they really going to do? How are they really going to get in front of this? Like I said, we have the presumption of innocence, or we're supposed to, in this country. But if they're guilty, I know they're not going to be a part of the league anymore. But how do we stem this tide? How will the league stem this tide? That's what I want to know. That's what I'm looking forward to hearing from the league, the commissioner, and all the higher ups in the NBA. And again, if these guys are guilty of what they say they're doing, they ought to be ashamed of themselves. No doubt about that. And I'm thinking, didn't you see what happened to Pete Rose? Greatest hitter of all time. Still isn't in the Hall of Fame because of that. And he done passed away. Haven't you learned you would think you would learn your lesson. You don't bet on your own or manipulate bets on your own sport. If you want to bet, go to one of those apps. It's legal. And you're making millions of dollars anyway. What you need to do this illegal betting for? A lot of questions that need to be answered by these guys. I know we ain't gonna hear no answers to them anytime soon, but there's a lot of questions that need to be answered by these knuckleheads. That's what I say. What the hell were you thinking? Or were you thinking? That's the question. Guess we'll find out in the coming weeks, months, maybe even years ahead. But that's my take on this. It's ugly, stupid, and I don't know if I'm going to use. I don't gamble, don't bet, but I was thinking about getting into the parlay stuff with DraftKings or FanDuel. You know I'm putting a pause on that now. Not until all this is cleared up. And somebody in the betting industry got to make me feel 100% satisfied that this messing is going to get cleaned up before I lay dollar into dollar on any of those draft or those betting apps. Not after this. I don't have a lot of money, but I damn sure I'm not gonna lose it because of some illegal, underhanded crap like this. What about you? What do you think should happen to these guys? Leave a comment and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe if you like what I'm talking about, or if you don't like what I'm talking about. Hit the like and subscribe and leave me a comment. I promise you leave me a comment, I will reply back to it. You're watching the big old with the big mouth and the Total Sports Ozone. Now, let's get to some positive. That's negative. We spent about enough on the negative. Let's get to the positive. And the positive is it's Pick'em Friday. Yes, sir. Pick'em Friday, where I pick my 5 or possibly 6 select games that I believe are the most interesting and most intriguing for this weekend in college football and all the NFL games for this weekend. As you know, I pick against the spread. I'm not going to tell you what sports book I use, but I use against the spread, and I also do the over-unders. So, without further ado, let's get into it. My picks for the 5 most intriguing matchups for this weekend, and I believe it's week 9 now in college football. We got 2 or 3 ranked matchups, and they're all in the SEC. And a couple of these games could decide who goes to the national college football playoff. It could be some eliminating games. Don't know. Let's get into it. First game I want to pick. We got Ole Miss, number 8 in the latest AP rankings, heading to Norman to take on the Oklahoma Sooners, ranked 13th. According to the sports book, Oklahoma is 5.5 point favorite with an over-under of 52.5. Now, both Oklahoma rebounded, I think, rather well against with a good game against South Carolina. And Ole Miss, if you didn't hear any of my podcasts week, I remember I had Ole Miss in my top 5 last week, not this week, last week. But I said Ole Miss had to show me something. They went on the road against Georgia. I said Ole Miss needs to show me they can beat a top quality conference opponent on the road. And they came up short. Didn't hurt them too much in the rankings, but it was their first loss. And Ole Miss is one of those teams that they're good, But you got to still show me. You got to show me you can be elite. And the Ole Miss has yet to do that. They have yet to show me that they can beat the elite. Because if you can't beat the elite in your own conference, what you going to do in the playoffs? Plus, they can't afford another loss. In that league, SEC, can't afford another. You can't afford 2 losses. If you have any designs, any hopes of not just winning the SEC, but getting a spot in the college football playoff, you can't lose back-to-back games. So Ole Miss has a really tough challenge going on the road to take on Oklahoma. Looks like Letier's fingers gotten better because he played a lot better against South Carolina. But this is Ole Miss. Ole Miss can give as good as they get. Problem is, they do too much giving. That's how they lost to Georgia. They did too much giving in the fourth quarter, allowing Georgia to score, what was it, 17 straight points to take the game away from them. Ole Miss defense got to tighten up. They got to tighten up. Oklahoma, if Letier's back, they can still hang on. They still have a chance. They still have a chance if Letier's all the way back. I'm surprised he played after 2 weeks. He didn't play a great game against Texas, but I'm surprised he played after having surgery 2 weeks prior. But is he all the way back? This game will tell us. But Oklahoma's at home. And again, Ole Miss has not proven to me that they can win against a quality conference opponent on the road. They haven't proven it to me yet. So until they do, I have to take Oklahoma and give it 5 points, 5.5. I'll take Oklahoma in this one, and I'll get a 5.5. Now, the over-under is 52.5. I'm going over. I think this is going to be a shootout. I really do. I think this is going to be back and forth, both defense optional shootout. So I'll take the over on the 52.5. Give me Oklahoma and the 5.5. Next, we got another SEC showdown with ranked on ranked teams. And this could be a playoff eliminator. Another game that could be a playoff eliminator. Got number 15 Missouri on the road against number 10 Vanderbilt. Yes, Vanderbilt, top 10. Vanderbilt. Who knew? I mean, who knew? This year's been crazy with the rankings. I mean, who would have ever thought that 2 perennial losing programs now be in the top 10 in the rankings? Indiana, who was number 2, their highest ranking ever, and I mean ever, and Vanderbilt. The last time I don't think I ever seen them ranked in the top 10. Not Vanderbilt. I called them the losing nerds of the SEC. Not anymore. I can't call them that no more. Vanderbilt is good. Diego Pavia, he's a Heisman Trophy candidate. Probably, I think he's second or third in the Heisman Trophy rank right now as we speak. Dude is good. I mean, you don't hit that Heisman polls if you ain't got skills. So I like Vanderbilt in this one. Missouri, like I said, Missouri can run the ball. But Vanderbilt, you got to do something about Diego Pavia. You got to do something about him. I don't know if Missouri has the defense to do that, to keep him. If you can't let Diego get out of the pocket and run. Because if you do, you're going to have a hell of a long day. If they can keep him contained, they might have a chance. But Vanderbilt's at home. That crowd going to be crazy. So I got to take Vanderbilt, and I get a 2.5. I have to take them simply because Diego Pavia is at home. And he plays a hell of a lot better at home He's good on the road too. Don't get me wrong, but at home, he's almost unstoppable. Give me Vanderbilt, and I'll lay the 2.5. We got an over under of 53.5. Another one of them shootouts. I'm taking the over. Think there's gonna be another one where the scoreboard gets lit up. I'll take the over on this one. So, Vanderbilt, Missouri. Vanderbilt, I take the two. I give the 2.5. I'll take Vanderbilt, and I'll go over on the 53.5. Next, got another ranked on rank. We got number 3, Texas A&M, heading to Death Valley to take on the Bayou Bengals, LSU Tigers, who are ranked 20. Got Texas A&M favorite on the roll by 2.5 with an over under 49.5. LSU, this is it for them. They lose this game, it's all over. They'll be going to one of those thank you for playing, here's your consolation gift bowls. If they lose this game at home. And I just don't think they have the offense to keep up with A&M. Their defense is great. LSU's defense is great. It's always been great. This year, their offense is just wishy-washy. And it needs to be more on the wishy than the washy if they want to take down the number 3 team in the country. I don't think it is. They have not shown me that they can put up superior amount of points. I mean, their defense is what wins them games. But their offense is like, they don't even take what is given to them. That's a problem. I want to give LSU the credence on this one, but I can't. Even though they're home, I know it's going to be a loud environment, and they know, LSU knows they lose this game. That's it. No SEC, no college football playoff. It's all over. This is, I think, this is one of those eliminator games, and LSU needs this one bad, but I can't give it to them. They don't have enough offense. I'll take Texas A&M, and I'll give the 2.5. The over under 49.5. I'm gonna go under on this one. I just don't believe in LSU's offense. Their defense, top notch, but their offense, it doesn't scare anybody. And you consider that a lot of people call LSU wide receiver U, which I strongly debate that overall. Considering I'm a Buckeyes fan, I strongly debate that. But they're supposed to be wide receiver U. Not this year. They're wide receiver who? Give me A&M, and I'll lay the 2.5. I'll go under on the over under 49.5. Now, other than those 3 games, there's not too many ranked on. I don't think there's any more ranked on ranked matchups this weekend other than those 3. So I gotta pick 2 games that intrigue me, and one of them involves Indiana. Indiana was ranked 2nd in the country. Is at home playing a team that has rebounded significantly well since they fired their coach, and that is UCLA. That's right. I believe they haven't lost since they got rid of the coach, and they on the upswing. There's a good chance that UCLA might come all the way back and get bowl eligible. But if they win this game in Indiana against the number 2 team in the country, a whole lot of eyebrows is going to go, oh, what? Are you kidding me? Watch. But Indiana's favored by 25.5 with an over-under of 52.5. Now, there's no doubt Indiana has deserved that ranking. Mendoza is, I think, 1 or 2 in the Heisman Trophy race as of right now. Kirk Signetti, he should be the coach, odds-on coach of the year. Not in the Big Ten, all of college football. Indiana is the real deal. But UCLA they've been on the rise. I mean, they took down Penn State. They got two decent road wins since they let go of their head coach, uh Rick Foster. I don't know. I don't think UCLA will win this game, but I don't think they're bad enough to where they can't cover the spread. I think they've improved that much, and they're playing inspiring football last month or so. But I think since nobody is giving UCLA a chance in hell in this game this weekend, they have nothing to lose. They can play loosey goosey, free as a bird. They have nothing to lose. Nobody thinks they're going to go into Indiana and beat them. And I think that's going to inspire them a little bit. I'll take Indiana to win the game, but I'm taking UCLA to cover the 25 and a half. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than that. Not much, but a little bit closer than that. The over-under 52 and a half, I'm going to go over on this. If Indiana has a great defense, but they are susceptible against pass. Hard to run on them, but they are susceptible a little bit against good passing teams. So I'll go over on the 52 and a half, over and under. Give me Indiana to win the game, but I'm going to take UCLA, and I'll take those points. I think they'll cover. And one more game we got to look at, and that is going to be Miami of Florida. I know they're playing at home in Stanford, but this is more like a psychological game. Okay, this is more like a This is more like a can they get their mind right after losing last week to Louisville? Will they be able to get their mind right? That's the question. That's a tough loss they took. And knocked Carson Beck out of any chance of winning the Heisman. You throw 4 interceptions in one game, Heisman is been out the window. But he has to redeem himself. He has to play better. Now I know they're playing Stanford, but to me, it's not about whether they win. I think Miami will win. They're home. But it's how they look. Or will they look like the team they were before they got beat by Louisville when they were the number 2 team in the country, or they're going to look rattled? Will Stanford rattle them and make them wake up, as I would say? That's what I'm looking for, because Miami probably will make the playoff. But if they look rattled going into the playoffs, they might get knocked out in the first round. Y'all got to remember, Miami's new to this. They new to this. This Miami team ain't done this stuff before. And then last year, they did the same thing. They started out hot, and then they lost a couple games because they got rattled. I know that was with Cam Ward as quarterback. And Carson Beck, he's a national champion. So he needs to be the leader. He needs to pick this team up and let them know, okay, we spit the bit on one, and that's on me. We're not going out here and look stupid tonight. That's what I'm looking for on Miami. I'll take Miami to cover, to win, but I'm going to take Stanford to cover. With a spread of 29.5, I'm going to take Stanford to cover the spread. Miami will win, and I'm going to go under on the over-under. So, those are my 5 picks for this week in college football for week 9. What do you think? You think I got a pick wrong here and there? Drop a comment, drop a like and subscribe. Hit me up with a comment. Let me know. I always look at them, comment out. I like to know. What do you think? You listen to the big old with the big mouth and the Total Sports Ozone. Now, let's get to the NFL. NFL picks for week 8. We're already in week 8. Week 8 in the NFL. Let's start with the Buffalo Bills heading to Charlotte to play the Carolina Panthers. Panthers are surprisingly decent this year. Who knew? What are they, 4-2? They're surprisingly decent. Now, I know a lot of people say, oh, only team they play the Dallas. They ain't beat nobody. They ain't beat nobody good. Still, this is NFL. 4-2, 4-2. 4-2, they got a they got a winning record right now. They're doing something right. I don't care who they're playing. But they're playing the Buffalo Bills. Now, the Buffalo Bills have looked a little shaky last couple of weeks, especially coming off that loss against the Atlanta Falcons. So they're looking a little shaky. They've lost 2 in a row. They've lost to New England. They lost to Atlanta. Now, Josh Allen's supposed to be an MVP, type player. He's reigning MVP. We need to see him be an MVP in this game. Because right now, Buffalo, like I said, they're looking shaky, especially on defense. They're looking really, really shaky. And if they want to be back up there as one of those contenders to get to the Super Bowl, this is one of them games they need to learn. They need to step out and blow them out. And yes, I know it's on the road, but Buffalo got to show everybody. They need to show everybody, hey, don't forget about us. I know we lost a couple games, but don't you dare forget about us. This is a game they need to show that it's all about the Bills. Bills are favored by 7.5. I think that's a little bit too much because they look shaky. I'm going to take the Panthers to cover. I like the Bills to win it. I'm going to take the Panthers to cover. We got over under 46.5. We'll go under on that one. I don't think it's going to be a high scoring affair. But I like the Bills to win. I like the Panthers to cover the 7.5. I think the Bills will win probably by a late field goal or something to that effect. Next, got the New York Jets, the only team that has yet to win a game this year in the NFL, against the Cincinnati Bengals, or as I like to call them, the Bungles. You got the Bengals favored at 6.5 with an over-under of 44.5. Let's face it. I bet you Bengals fans are happy as all hell that the Browns traded Joe Flacco to y'all. And I don't blame you. I kept saying, when he was with the Browns, I kept saying, ain't nothing wrong with Flacco. He just ain't got nobody to throw the ball to. Yeah, at best, Jerry Jeudy. And he kept dropping the ball. I said, give Joe Flacco 1 or not 2 all-pro receivers and watch what happens. He showed it on Thursday night against the Steelers. He showed that he still got it. He never lost it. He just needs somebody to throw it too. And you got Jamar Chase. You got T. Higgins. You got 2 bona fide all-pro receivers to throw the ball to. Bengals scoring points. Dropping 30-something points. That's all he needed. That's all Flacco needed. Somebody to throw the ball to. He had it in Cleveland. He's got that in abundance in Cincinnati. It's scoring points. And they won the game. They should make it 2 in a row against a Jets team that just certainly cannot get out their way. Just benched Justin Fields for Tyrod Taylor. The Jets are a mess. There's nothing else to say about them, but they're a mess. It's just an all-out up mess. Everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. They're just a mess. This. I don't even know why they put this bet on the table. But I'll take it. I'll take the Bengals. I'll give them 6. I'll give them 20 points. I give the Jets 20 points. And the Jets will still lose by 25. Give me the Bengals minus the 6.5. Over under 44.5. I don't believe in the Jets. I'll go under. I think most of the scoring is going to be done by the Bengals. Games in Cincinnati. Oh yeah, both those games I talked the Bills, Panthers, Jets, Bengals. Those are 1:00 kicks. Next, we got the Chicago Bears, the monsters of the Midwest. No, they ain't. But they're going on the road to play the Baltimore Ravens. How is the Ravens favored by 6.5? Somebody tell me how the Ravens, who are what? What are they? 1-6? 1-5? Something like that? How the hell are they favored by 6.5? When you've only won 1 or 2 games, you shouldn't be favored in any game. Sorry, you shouldn't. You shouldn't be favored. At least not by 6.5. I don't give a damn if they're at home. I don't care if they're at home. They should not be favored by 6.5. Not when you only won 1 or 2 games. No. And I'm not taking the bait. Give me the Bears. I'll take the Bears. I think the Bears will win outright. That's how I feel about that. I think the Bears will win this game. I'll take those 6.5 points. Thank you very much. But I think the Bears will win this game on the road outright. Over and under 49.5. I'm going to go under on that. But I think the Bears will win this game by more than 6.5 points. I dare them giving the Ravens a 6.5 point favorite. And they ain't but 1 or 2 games. Come on, man. Seriously? 1:00 kickoff for that. Next, we got the Browns on the road against the New England Patriots. Don't drink the Kool-Aid, Browns fans. We beat a lousy team last week. Everybody know it. We beat a team that's just more in turmoil than the Browns is. That was like the toilet bowl game. The battle of the stinks. It was just the Miami stunk just a little bit more than the Browns did. But don't get it twisted. I don't see the Browns with that offense or lack thereof going on the road to beat Drake May and the New England Patriots. I don't see it. I just don't see it. New England is favored by 7. They're probably winning by double digits. I hate to say that, but the Browns are yet to win a road game. As a matter of fact, they've gotten destroyed in all but one road game. And that was overseas when they went to London. They actually played well on that one. That was Dylan Gabriel's NFL debut as a starting quarterback. But here at home, they get destroyed on the road. Detroit, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, they've destroyed this team on the road. I don't see that changing no time soon. Not with that putrid of an offense. Great defense. Statistically, best defense in the league. No offense. It's a damn shame because they got the makings of a great running back, Krishan Junkins. But Dylan Gabriel has nobody to throw the damn ball to. He just doesn't. Judy and who else? Njoku, he's hurt. So who do you got to throw the ball to? I'll take the Patriots. As much as I hate, I'll take the Patriots and give them the 7.5. I'm gonna go under on the over under 40.5. I think the Browns gonna revert back to not being able to even score 2 touchdowns in one game, especially if the weather's bad up there, which I heard it's supposed to be. That's a 1:00 kick. Next, we got the San Fran 49ers, 5-2. One of 3 teams in the NFC West at 5-2. Going on the road to play the Houston Texans. Somehow the Houston Texans are favored by 2.5. Why? Because they're at home? I don't think so. Give me the 49ers. I'll lay the 2.5. 49ers, even though Brock Purdy ain't playing and they just got Kerry Killer back, they still don't have Brandon Ayuk. And they lost Fred Warner. They play inspired. They're playing inspired football. There's no doubt about that. They're playing inspired football. They took out Tampa Bay. So they're playing. No, they didn't. They took out one of the teams from the rest. I forgot. But they're playing inspired football. So you got to lend that more credence. I know the Houston Texans are struggling offensively. It's like, I don't want to say CJ Stroud has taken a step back. He just needs some weapons. And he don't have too many. It's a shame, but that's the way it looks like. He doesn't have too many weapons. So, for that reason, and above all, I don't want to take the 49ers. Give me the 2.5. And the over-under, 41.5, I'm going to go over. I think it might be an entertaining matchup. I think it might be one of those back and forth affairs that might come down to the last couple of minutes. But, so I'll take the over on the 41.5, but I'm taking the 49ers on the road. Give me the 2.5. Next, that's a 1 o'clock kick, by the way. Next, we got the Miami Dolphins, the struggling Miami Dolphins. Let's face it, they're struggling. But they're on the road against the Atlanta Falcons. Yeah, Atlanta had a pretty bad game last week. But I believe in them. On the road, they're a little shaky. I don't know why. When they're on the road, they're a little shaky. San Fran showed that. But at home, you better watch out. They're just dangerous. And let's face it, the Dolphins are just terrible. They're terrible. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Tua Tagovailoa is just not hitting on those cylinders like he used to. I mean, he had a really bad game against Cleveland. He had a really bad game in Cleveland. Atlanta is one of the better defensive teams in the league. What they gonna do in Georgia? I don't know. I don't know how bad this could be for the Miami Dolphins. We're gonna find out. But nevertheless, give me the Falcons. I think Bijan Robinson is a beast. He is a beast. And with them being at home on that turf, I'm predicting Bijan Robinson will drop 150 rushing yards and 2 scores. 150 rushing yards. That's just rushing yards. I ain't saying nothing about the passing yards because he can catch the ball out of the backfield. But I think he'll drop 150 yards if he stays healthy, of course. He'll drop 150 yards in this game, rushing, and 2 touchdowns. Give me the Falcons in the 7.5 and the latest 7.5. Over under 44.5. I'm going to take the under. Just don't believe in the Dolphins offense on the road. So I'll take the under on the 44.5, but give me the Falcons and I'll lay that 7.5. That is a 1 o'clock start. Next, we got the Giants going to Philly to take on the Eagles. A team the Giants blew out, 2-3 weeks ago? Blew them out in the Meadowlands. Can they do that on the road? I doubt it. But with a 7.5 point spread, with Philly being the favorite, I think they're going to give the Giants, give the Eagles all they want in their house. I'm starting to believe in Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo. I'm starting to believe in them. Because even though they lost a tough one in New York and Denver last week, a very tough loss, wasn't Jackson Dart's fault. Just couldn't kick. And I think that's why I think they got a new kicker now. I think. Well, the kicker's just not having a good year, Kicker missed he gone. Kicker missed a game-winning field goal or a game deciding point out. He gone. Well, you got one job to do: make your kick. So I believe the Giants got a new kicker. I don't think it'll make much difference. I still think Philly will win the game, but I think New York will cover. So I'll take Philly to win. but I think I'll take the New York Giants to cover the 7.5 point spread. The over under 43.5. I'll take the over on that one. I think it's going to be a good scoring affair. Very good scoring affair. That is a 1 o'clock kick. Now, next, Tampa Bay Bucks on the road against the New Orleans Saints. The odds on it just changed as we speak. The odds on this game just changed. It was Tampa Bay at 3.5. Now they're favored by 4.5 on the road with an over under of 46.5. I like Tampa Bay. I really do. I know they're banged up a receiver with Godwin, and Mike Evans probably out for the rest of the season, and Emeka Ibuka nursing a hamstring. But Baker Mayfield, again, this game is tailor made for him. Indoors against a weak team. Yeah. I think Baker Mayfield's gonna have fun in this game. He's gonna have fun. And he should. So give me the Tampa Bay Bucks minus the 4.5 with an over under 46.5. I'm gonna go over on this. I think it's gonna be another one of those high scoring affairs. But Tampa Bay is gonna come out on top. Tampa Bay, and I'll give it 4.5. That is a 4 o'clock kick. Next, got Tennessee Titans going against the number one team in the AFC at this point, the 6-1 Indianapolis Colts. And this game is in Indianapolis. I can see why the spread is 14.5. Titans have no chance. They have no chance. I don't even think they're going to cover. I honestly think they ain't going to cover. Give me the Colts. They have no chance. None. They have very little offense, very little defense. And that's why the coach got fired. And Colts are beating everybody now. Daniel Jones, Taylor, they're beating everybody. And they're making it look easy doing it. They're making it look easy. Went out to LA, made it look easy against the Chargers. Now they're coming home and playing one of the worst teams in football. I'll take the Colts, and I'll lay the 14.5. I'll lay it. They can have it. They got 20 points. Hell, they got 30 points. Colts still gonna win. Over under 46.5. We're gonna go under. I'm gonna go under on the 46.5. But the Colts will win this one handily. That game is a 4:30 start. And next, we got the Denver Broncos at home against Jerry Jones's boys. Them boys. Whew. Denver's favored by 3.5 with an over-under of 50.5. I think it's going to come down to which unit performs better. Will it be the Cowboys defense against the Denver Broncos offense, or will it be the Broncos defense holding down the third best offense, second or third best offense in the league in the Dallas Cowboys? Which units perform better is going to decide this game. Will the Cowboys actually play a little bit of defense on the road? Will they do that? Will the Denver Broncos defense be able to slow down Dak Prescott and George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb and Adams? Will they be able to slow them down? Whichever defense has the better game is going to be the team that wins this game. I'm not sold on Dallas Cowboys defense. It's like Swiss cheese that is not melted yet. So give me Broncos on the road minus 3.5. With over under 50.5, I'm gonna go over on this. I think offense is gonna put points on the board, but Denver's defense is just gonna make just enough plays to win the game. Give me Denver and a 3.5, and give away the 3.5. That is a 4:30 kick. Sunday night game, we got Green Bay, and Pittsburgh Steelers, the Aaron Rodgers game. Aaron Rodgers going home to play his former team for the first time. Woo! This is gonna be a good one. I think this is gonna be an entertaining, probably the most entertaining game of the week. I wouldn't be surprised. I know Aaron Rodgers is gonna want to stick it to his old team. Let him know you should have never let me go. Fools. You know how certain quarterbacks they get up for playing against their former team. There's gonna be no surprise in this. However, still his defense is not what it used to be. I saw that last week against Cincinnati. The defense is not what it's supposed to be. Let's put it like that. Where you at, TJ? What? Where you at, Haywood? Where y'all at? He ain't showing up lately. I take the Packers and I give the 3. I think they'll win this. I don't say they're gonna win it handily, but they'll win it by at least a score or 2. Over under 45.5. I'll take the over on it. I'll take the over on this one, but I take the Packers in the 3 and lay the 3.5 3 points. That's a Sunday night 8:30 start or 8:20 start, and we got the Monday night game of the week. We got the Commanders and the Chiefs. Chiefs are at home, favored by 11.5 with over under 47.5. I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna say it again. I said it before. I'm gonna say it again. Don't sleep on them Chiefs. Don't do that. Do not sleep on the Kansas City Chiefs. Now they got their full complement of offensive players back. Ruh-roh. In the words of Scooby-Doo, ruh-roh. Simple as that. In the words of the great Scooby-Doo, ruh-roh. Give me the Chiefs and I'll lay 11.5. Hey, they got their players back. They got Rice back. They got Xavier Worthy back. Travis Kelce is now rounded back into NFL shape. You got Pacheco. You got Kareem Hunt. And, of course, Patrick Mahomes. He got his weapons back. Oh, it's time to do some damage. And he's been doing that damage. So, I'll take the Chiefs at home, and I'll give away the 11. I'll give them 20. I'll give Washington 25, especially without Jalen Daniels. No Jalen Daniels, no chance. Give me the Chiefs and 11.5. Let them have it. Over under 47.5. I'm going to take the over on it. I think the Chiefs will score at least 35 points. So that's most of the over. I'll take the over on that one and give me the Chiefs minus the 11.5. So, though on that game's Monday night, 8:15. So, those are my NFL picks for week 8. What do you think? You think I'm crazy? Did I pick somebody, pick a team I had no business picking? Do you think you see an upset in there? Show me, hit me up with a comment. Let me know what you think. All right. Well, it's time for the big old with the big mouth to bounce out of here for the weekend. I want to thank you all for looking, watching, listening. Again, like and subscribe if you like what you're seeing, what you're hearing. And I'll be back at you Monday in the ozone. See ya.